Hi there folks, it's Deni. I know how sad it can be sometimes to find a really nice and badass looking game and then find out that it's still not out and there is no clue when it will be out at all. I know that. And that's why today I brought a bunch of new games for you that you'll really want to try and you can actually do it cause they are already out. So sit back and get comfortable. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, let's get started. Well, let's start with a game that many of you have probably already heard of. Yes, I'm talking about Honkai Star Rail. It's a new space fantasy RPG created by HoYoverse, yep, that same ones who created Genshin Impact. In this game, you'll become the owners of Stellaron, a mysterious artifact that allows you to travel through the universe aboard the Astral Express. Well, as for the gameplay, here you can freely move around different planets and locations, explore them and perform all sorts of tasks. And then there is the battles. Just like in Genshin Impact, you'll be fighting enemies, constantly switching between your characters during combat and combining their abilities. And of course, here you will be improving your characters, their skills and equipment. This game will catch the eye of everyone who likes something like colorful. Next, we have Dead Island 2, the sequel of the famous zombie apocalypse game series. This one came out just a little while ago. Here you find yourself in Los Angeles, which has been completely isolated due to a new infection outbreak. You will be one of 6 survivors who is somehow resistant to the virus and can help develop a cure. This game offers everything you can expect from a zombie game: bloody battles, literally tons of weapons and tactical options to take down these creatures. On top of that, he'll be exploring a lot of different locations in Los Angeles, from Beverly Hills to Venice Beach, taking on missions and getting your fellow sufferers. Well, one more thing. The previous games in the series have been known for their detailed and well-done co-op mode. And guess what? This game just made it even better. You will be amazed with the good job the developers did in details and realism, so go ahead. If you want to try a new multiplayer shooter, you obviously need to try Combat Master Season first. In this game you will take part in dynamic and, quite brutal battles with other players. Here we have a lot of weapons, in fact there is everything you heard desirous: pistols, rifles, shotguns and sniper rifles. You can customize your character and weapons by changing their color, shape and accessories. Oh, one more good thing. There are more than enough models in this game. There is team combat, capturing the flag, survival, dueling and much more. And all of this takes place each time on a different map. Generally speaking, this game is a godsend for those who want to enjoy exciting and dynamic gameplay, high quality graphics and surprisingly quite good optimization. So you should definitely give it a try. What we have next is the sequel to the Star Wars Universe action-adventure game. Here you'll learn about the continuing story of Cal Kestis, one of the last surviving Jedi who fights against the Empire. The game will take you to the many different parts of the galaxy, bringing you into contact with those you already know, and some you will meet for the first time. Well, that goes for the enemies too. The gameplay here is based, in general, on the third-person adventure and combat. He'll be using the familiar Star Wars lightsaber and Jedi power to send all sorts of guys like stormtroopers, inquisitors, bounty hunters and Sith to the afterlife. What's more, the battles here are pretty spectacular, since the creators did a really good job of making you feel like you are in a real Star Wars movie. Here you'll also be able to use different styles of lightsaber and powers and combine them them to create powerful combo attacks. And judging by the reviews already available, these mechanics are down with a bang. All in all, this game is definitely worth your attention. If you want to try something similar to Cyberpunk, then I suggest you look at the action RPG ArcRunner. Here, you'll be controlling an android who decides to go to the Arc space station to reboot a certain rebellious AI. In this game, you'll be battling hordes of robots and drones, and you'll have plenty of tools to do so. From pistols and rifles to lasers and plasma cannons. You can also improve your abilities, and by the way, there are 3 classes of characters: Soldier, Ninja and Hacker, each with their own unique skills and features. Of course, the levels here are randomly generated and have different architecture, lightning and enemies. There is also local currency here, nanites, and I would tell you, collecting it is very important cause you can spend it later on improving your character or his weapons. Anyway, you'd better try it yourself. Well, if you want to try something a little cuter, I suggest you check out Bramble, the Mountain King. Well, to be honest, it's not that cute. In fact, it's a little bit gloomy one. But anyway, it's an adventure game inspired by Scandinavian myths and fairy tales. You will dive into the world of Bramble with giant and horrible monsters. You will control a little boy, Ollie, whose sister has been kidnapped by one of these beasts. Each local he has like its own character and mood, whether it's a sleeping gnome village, a sinister swamp or a lunar forest. As for gameplay, well, you'll be exploring and fighting. You'll be traveling through different areas, solving puzzles of course, collecting all sorts of items and unlocking secrets. Your main weapon here will be the Spark of Courage, a magic light that will give you strength and defense. With this spark you can fight trolls, elves and other creatures that you meet here. However, I advise you not to bring the meta to an open fight, but to defeat your enemies by stealth. After all, these are powerful mythology monsters and you are just a little boy. Next we have Farlight 84. It is available in early access. It's a shooter in a post-apocalyptic setting. There is dynamic third-person PvP battles, exploring and ruined world filled with danger and mystery, reading future vehicles like motorcycles, gyro scooters, jetpacks and so on. It's kind of like a battle royale, but in a completely new way. Here you can choose your role, whether you become the hunter or the victim is up to you. You can also customize your weapons and equipment, choosing from plenty of modules and upgrades. And besides, the graphics here are really good, so go ahead. Next up we have Aftermage. This is a 2D adventure with action elements and a lot of anime girls, if that's important to you. This game will take you to the ruins of a fantasy world, where you will explore gorgeous landscapes and ancient cities, meeting mysterious giants and cute spirits along the way. You will control a certain Deni who has lost her memory and now sets out to find the truth after her village has been destroyed by dark powers. Together with her, you will fight your enemies using weapons and magic. There are bosses here too, and each one has its own weaknesses and behavior, so you will have to find the special tactics for each one. But don't worry, it will be easy enough, since here there are more than 200 items of ammunition, including 6 classes of men and additional weapons, different armor and other combat stuff. So you are sure to find something to your liking. Another game on today's list is Total Conflict Resistance. It's kind of a mix of global strategy and tactical first-person shooter. And let me tell you, this game will amaze you with its scale and detail. Here you will be managing your republic, developing economy, science, production, and army. You will also be able to conduct diplomatic negotiations with other states, making alliances or declaring wars. But who the hell cares about that? Here you can switch to first-person mode and take part in combat yourself, firing guns, grenade launchers or sniper rifles. Isn't that cool? There are more than 100 types of weapons and 50 types of vehicles. Yeah, 50 types. And what's more, you can customize it by adding all sorts of modules and accessories. There are also several modes here, capturing a base, defending a city or destroying a convoy. And if that's not enough for you, don't feel bad. Here you can create your own modes by customizing the map, sites, victory conditions and other parameters. Let's take a look at the new online shooter Caliber. In this Special Forces game, you will control fighters from different special units like SAS, Delta, FSB and others. Each fighter here has his own set of weapons, characteristics and abilities. You will also be able to customize your equipment, choosing from more than 100 types of weapons and equipment. There are several game modes like Front, Assault, Raid and Special Ops. In Front mode you will fight other players and a rather aggressive AI for battlefield advantage. In Assault mode you will have to attack or defend a certain point of the map. As for the Raid mode, well, you'll need to complete missions in co-op mode. And finally, in Special Ops mode you will participate in complex missions with very specific rules. In short, if you want to feel yourself as an elite warrior, this game is for you. If there are any League of Legends fans here, well, I brought something for you. It's a 2D RPG action game in the Mageseeker, a League of Legends story. Here you play as Silas, a guy some of you probably already know. He is a mage who has literally just been freed from the unjust imprisonment of the Mageseekers. Armed with the chains that once bound him, he must free his homeland from the tyranny of the Mageseekers. Step by step, you will learn the history of the Demasian kingdom, make mischief to bad guys of all sorts, and uncover the secrets of this world. You'll also meet some characters from the League of Legends universe like Lux, Morgana, and others. He'll be exploring locations, fighting enemies by setting them on fire or freezing them. Well, you can also heal yourself. The graphics in the game are, well, not the most up-to-date, but nevertheless bright enough, so I recommend you pay attention to this game. Well, the last game on today's list is Ash of Gods: The Way, a turn-based tactical indie card game with the drawn graphics. Here you will play as characters who are trying to survive in a world in which there is an intense war between the houses of Frizi and Birkin. Here you will need to create your own deck of character cards, spells and items, and all the cards here are also divided into several factions. Each faction has its own characteristics and requires a certain playstyle. Warrior characters can range from powerful frontline fighters to vulnerable marksmen and support characters. Equipment cards enhance warriors on the battlefield, and spells help them or weaken the enemy. Each round here has its own rules and features, but they can be turned to your advantage if you make the right deck. Thankfully, there are enough cards to make the toughest deck and to defeat any opponent. But the only thing, you will have to spend, well, a lot of time to understand all the game's mechanics and card characteristics. But if you have some free time, why not? Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found something interesting. And if so, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's been Deni, see you guys soon.